Welcome back to the new Buzzwick Podcast. We got episode 2 here, week 2, with me, your co-host Tyler Newell, and other co-host Simon Osmond.
Yes, Simon.
Yes.
Big boy.
All right, I think we got a doozy here to set up this week. What do you think?
I think we do. It's going to be a good, 30, 40-minute podcast at least.
Oh, yes.
Quite the ride. You going anywhere?
I'm going to,
buckle up.
Here's the thing. I'm going to try to eliminate any rambling.
Because already there, Ron McLean, already.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
Anyways,
shooting you a little fire
I want to
there.
eliminate some rambling here because I felt like an hour was probably too long, but we'll have to see. We'll have to balance that. You guys got to give some input. Like, are we boring you? What's going on and everything? But yeah, so Simon, why don't you start out with some news or something?
So, here's some exciting news, and there's some disappointing news in New Brunswick this week. So, we had a streak going for 16 days of 0 new cases. They're still doing testing, and no new cases from April 18th to May 5th. Now, we are recording this on May 6th, and there are now 2 active cases. One was released yesterday on the 5th, and one was released today on the 6th. So they're in zones 3 and
keep in mind,
1,
there was 0 active cases before May 5th.
So,
we were COVID-free, and then, we might not have been, right? Because they didn't test them, but...
testing and
at
symptoms,
least,
yeah.
Yeah, and one of these cases is in the Fredericton area, one is in the St. John area.
So nothing to really be alarmed about, but just something to
They're self-isolating. They are self-isolating.
Yes, and I know the St. John case that was released today was... whoever has it was traveling in Ontario. I saw
I heard about that.
Yeah, part of the press release, and they're still gathering information about the one in Fredericton. I'd also like to mention there was an incident in Moncton where a person who previously tested positive in Alberta, which is kind of a hotbed right now.
I've heard about this one. Mm-hmm.
They flew through WestJet, obviously, after quarantining and stuff like that. I'm not sure the reason for flying at this time, especially to Brunswick.
Really?
Yeah, but, so a lot of people were concerned about that. But, they were, they're not contagious at that point. So that's why they were allowed to fly, but a lot of people were concerned about that. So Tyler,
as one should.
Well, yeah, I mean it's understandable, especially with the streak that we had going. And one more point about local news is school. Now.
Yeah. Course selection and everything for grade 11s, and course selection's already been through. I know for grade 9s. I think grade 10s,
nines
right?
and 10s have already done it. Grade 11s are doing it this week.
I
don't know about you.
What are your courses you gonna do? What courses? What are you thinking?
We got a couple business courses, organization and accounting. World issues. For an alternate, I put in for poli-sci.
I haven't chosen mine yet. But I think I'm going to put in a request for outdoor pursuits because that seems like a fun class.
I put my...
Teacher's good?
Yeah. I put my request in for Idea Center, so that should be interesting.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But I was seeing a press about Dominic Carty today about connectivity. So right now... we were doing all our school from home, and teachers were to get in contact with students to see how well they're able to connect and stuff like that. So Dominic Carty is looking to spend $800,000 in getting iPads and laptops with data plans for those who have connection issues in order to get the proper schooling.
Very nice.
I think it's a great use of money. Especially since they won't be using the money on keeping, nobody's in the facilities right now, so that the money that's saved there right now with heating and electric and stuff like that will definitely contribute to paying for those iPads and tablets and stuff like that. But also, the iPads and laptops can be distributed to the schools accordingly after all of this is over.
Yeah.
And that can be used in those settings, because I know I like to use my laptop in class. I like taking notes, and if a student would like to option to take that, I think it's a good option for them, because I'm not the neatest writer. Some classes, other than, math and physics and those type of classes, I like to take my notes on the computer. So, like in modern history, I was taking my notes on computer. So, um, tablets are also a good option. A lot of people in college and university are using that. So I think it's a great way to not only improve connectivity during, the pandemic, but also the way for the school system to advance itself. So
for sure.
I'm thinking about that now. I'm pretty glad to hear that. So,
what do you say we move on to some world news that has certainly caught interest? Kim Jong-un is reports being said that he was dead. Going around already, the incapable.
Sorry, Tyler, if you'd like to repeat yourself, you're cutting out here.
Good talking point here for us. It was revealed that he was fine here. Mark on his wrist that some people have said is the cardiovascular surgery mark or something, I've heard, but I'm not really sure. So, I mean, there's certainly conflict. It's they call it the Herman. So, it's very secretive state. They're not going to let anything get out.
Unpaused.
All right, well, some world news here. Of course, one of the big ones, Kim Jong-un, right? So, rumors that he was dead, incapable of leading the country. I mean, that's true, but I mean, also that he was brain dead or, paralyzed. Thing in a beach resort. Those are some reports that were going around, but sources are saying that there were no signs of heart surgery at all or cardiovascular surgery, but there was one thing that people kind of caught when they saw him reemerge was a mark on his wrist that could be from a surgery. They don't know, but a lot of South Korean officials say heart surgery was not likely in his disappearance.
Yeah, I don't know.
The government over there wouldn't really want to get anything out of the way anyway, so we don't really know what to think. They wouldn't want to get anything that would harm their glorious leader.
Yeah, and the biggest thing coming out of that is obviously the fear of his sister becoming leader. She's actually feared in North Korea more so than Kim Jong-un himself.
So I know many people don't fear the same way, because she's a woman, right? My voice is very raspy.
Well, I don't know why she's feared more. I haven't looked too much into it, but that was some of the reports that I heard. So the public, the North Koreans themselves, they were feared for that aspect of it.
Kim Yo-jong, yeah.
Yeah, and especially Donald Trump has starting to establish a friendship with Kim Jong-un himself. So obviously
and relations have been good with the states and North Korea.
They have been. It's very interesting. The type of country that North Korea is.
Maybe they might be going through some reforms. We don't know that. It could be very soon.
Yeah. I'm sure there won't be an uprise, but there might be some changes in government. Who knows?
All right.
So some other news that has literally hit Canada in the past 2 days is these
And the United States.
Well, yeah, Western United States and Canada.
Yeah.
Is basically Asia and East Asia and China sending more problems our way with these killer hornets. First they had Corona.
Oh, jeez.
And now there's killer hornets.
Oh my.
I forget what these hornets' names are. The Japanese giant hornet? Yeah, the giant murder hornets. So basically they're affecting some bees and the bee population, and they are, their sting is very violent. So yeah, there's videos of people getting stung by these things and massive welts
yeah, they are
on
massive.
their arm.
It's certainly scary. Very scary.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. It's just how
it can be deadly to some humans.
Yeah, most likely, but it's also affecting like honeybee populations and stuff like that. So
well, yeah, they're called invasive species. They're not supposed to be there. They're not supposed to be part of the food chain, right?
Yeah.
Well, no. Well, like really though, they're not supposed to be part of this food chain. They're breaking it up, and it's gonna disrupt the balance. Things, the ecosystem, man. It can mess up a lot of things.
I mean,
for humans.
It's not the first time this happened. There's been other insects and bugs that have come from East Asia to the West Coast and have been a major problem for us. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about that, really. Would you like to move into some sports? I know there's a lot of news here. I know I've got a lot of news to cover.
Yes, I'm excited.
You got a lot of news to
oh yes
cover. So first I'm gonna hop into the biggest news. The news I'm most excited for is the NHL season and where we're at with that. So I've gotten a lot of news here. I mean, I'm no Darren Dreger or Bob McKenzie on this, but I got a lot of information to give you guys this week. So phase 2. So the NHL is looking to get into phase 2 starting mid-May. So what that entails is getting into team and organization practices and having like an organization bubble and a team bubble or whatever. So they're not sure how that's going to work for, like, obviously players are not going to want to leave their families for 3 months to finish out the season.
Yeah,
but this phase 2 step,
I think the Players Association, it's certainly it's going to be a big factor into determining what is going to happen for the NHL this season. This year.
So the NHL has got to dance around that. So they got to figure out a way to make the Players Association happy and the players happy and feel safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they don't dance around that carefully and they're like, look, we got to take the players away from their families for 3 months, that's a no-go for the Players Association.
There might not be an end of this season. There might not be an end.
No, but look, this phase 2 is not mandatory, although they're trying to make it as fair as possible by having all the organizations start the training around, the same week or whatever, so that, different people aren't having different levels of training.
Mm-hmm.
But it's certainly not mandatory, and it's a player-by-player basis. So that's one thing they're looking at, and I was just watching a thing about this, and they had a 2-hour meeting yesterday, I think, about this whole situation. Okay. So another thing that they're talking about is having, similar to the MLB, is having centralized sites for playing the rest of the season. So
okay, like we talked about last.
Yes,
I've also
MLB.
Heard that.
Yes, so I think I've discussed this with you once or twice, but so I've seen a regional map of 3 different sections and sites that they'll play, but I've also heard of 4 different centralized sites. which I think will work better because you could do it on a divisional basis, which I'll tell you
Exactly.
why that works better in the long run if they do move to a 24 playoff format, but I'll get to that later. So right now, the only map that I've seen presented are 3 centralized sites. So we have an eastern, a central, and a west, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for the eastern, it's going to be hosted in Raleigh, North Carolina. So
Okay.
home ice to the Carolina Hurricanes. And in that eastern, I don't want to say division, but in that eastern, location, it's going to be obviously Carolina, Florida, Tampa, Washington, New York Rangers and the Islanders, the Devils, Montreal, Boston, and Ottawa. So now here's the thing that I've noticed between with Eastern and Central is the breakup of some of the I believe also Philadelphia is included in that Eastern roster.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, you notice, so there's a rivalry between Boston, Montreal, and Toronto, right? Everybody knows that. That's been around for 100 years.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
in this Eastern roster, you got Montreal, Boston. That's a rivalry, but you're missing that Toronto. You're missing
Yeah,
Toronto,
that's
right?
kind of odd. I figured they would have been with that,
So you're
that
missing
group there.
Toronto in there. So there's a lot of good hockey being missed right there with that rivalry being gone between those
I
two
mean,
teams.
it's
Also,
fine because it's better than not having a season at all.
I will give you that, but here I'm just gonna name off the Central Division, or not division, the Central roster. So it's being hosted in Columbus, Ohio, home to Columbus Blue Jackets.
So I'm guessing that's where the Leafs will be playing.
That is, I just want to give a shout out to their NHL run last year, or their playoff run last year. John Tortorella was their coach, I believe. They kicked
Yeah, he
butt in
is
the
one of my
first
favorite
round.
coaches.
Bottom seed team, squeaked their way in, kicked butt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty proud. Sad to see that Boston knocked them out in the second round, but it is what it is. That's how NHL works, right? That's how hockey works. So Central will be Columbus, Toronto, and Buffalo. That's a rivalry there, but still, like I said, not as big as Montreal and
it does
Boston.
make sense due to the geographical
This
situations these cities are located in. I mean, it doesn't matter about rivalries, Simon. You got to understand that it matters about where the teams are located.
Yeah, I found the
They're
fact
not
that
gonna go and play teams in the same division just because they have a rivalry. It's about the logical thing here.
yes, and I understand that, but also they're trying to recover the season and whatever. So logistically, this works best. But in order to keep engagement levels high with viewers and the NHL, this is what first shocked me was that the rivalries were limited.
Well,
So
here's my take on it. I think it won't matter what the viewer engagement is. Think about it. What on right now that people can watch.
yeah, exactly. You're
People
getting
are
reruns of soap operas and stuff. So
and watch it, right? There's thinking, people don't care who's playing. They're gonna throw on a hockey game. They're gonna throw it on in the background, or watch the game because the sports that they've missed for so long is back, right?
yeah.
And they're to quench their thirst. I suppose you could put it that way.
Yeah, that is true. You do have a very good point, and obviously they don't want teams to be traveling halfway across the country too, because that is a big thing with this spread. So I'm just gonna round out the central roster here. So, like I said, Columbus, Toronto, Buffalo, Nashville, the Pittsburgh Penguins, split up that Pennsylvania,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean Pittsburgh is hours from
It makes sense.
Columbus. Like
why
it's
they're
so close. They're
even
on
though they're in the
opposite
same
ends
state.
of the state, right? And then you got Detroit, which obviously, Michigan's right next to Ohio, Winnipeg, Minnesota, and St. Louis and Chicago, which, yeah, St. Louis beautiful team. And I gotta give it Patrick Kane, the hands on that guy, like stick handling.
Yeah.
He's just, it's
Amazing.
beautiful. Yeah, I just gotta mention that.
All right, I'd say we move on from NHL then.
Well,
Have you said anything? Everything you wanted to say?
We gotta finish out the one last the West. So Vegas gonna host that Western roster with San Jose, Dallas, Vegas, obviously, Anaheim, Arizona, LA, Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver.
So just all the Western teams.
Yeah, pretty much. I believe Colorado is also in the West, but the playoff format, they're looking at a 24-team playoff format.
24. Okay, like I think we said that last week. We threw that around last week.
Yes.
So
I got a little bit more information on that actually this week if you're interested.
I would be.
So like I said, the 4. So I have a 3 centralized location possible playing areas. I've heard mention of a 4th, which makes more sense because they could do, the way they do the playoffs is 6 teams from each division. There's 4 divisions, 6 teams, 24 teams. So basically, in each division, 1 plays 6, 2 plays 4, or 2 plays 5, and 3 plays 4, right? Mm-hmm. And then you move on to your next round, and eventually the 2 divisions in the East meet up, and the 2 divisions in the West meet up, and then they go to the finals, which makes a lot of sense. Another thing and right now, you're looking at, Vegas is going to play, or St. Louis is going to play Chicago. Good hockey there, rivalry teams. The Golden Knights in Arizona, Colorado, and Minnesota in the West. Those are like 3 of the matches in the West. In the East, here is where it gets interesting. Montreal squeaks into 12th in the Eastern Conference. So, they will play Boston, who is in first. In the East, the Capitals against the Rangers, and then Tampa Bay against Panthers. So, and for you, Tyler, Toronto will be playing the Hurricanes if this does go through and the standings stay roughly the same. There's a couple good pairings in there, and it could make for some interesting hockey, especially playoff-style hockey. And, so another thing is they do they give 2 teams the top. So, the top 4 teams will get a bye, and, so that's all I got to say on NHL news this week.
All right.
Well, the top 2 teams in each conference, not the top 4 teams, but in each conference.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
It should make for some interesting hockey.
Last week we missed the NFL draft, which occurred just a few nights prior. And, it was very interesting. Very interesting. I watched a bit of it. I don't really follow NFL much, but I must say there have been some big news in the NFL. Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers. That's an older one, right?
Yeah.
But you might have heard Rob Gronkowski came out of retirement. The Patriots traded his rights to the Buccaneers, and he'll be playing with Tom Brady. Did you hear about that, Simon?
I have not.
Well, it's news to you, I suppose. It
is,
old news now, huh? But it's very interesting, Tampa Bay is certainly suiting up for a playoff run. And guess what? The Super Bowl is hosted in Tampa Bay this year, so we're gonna have to see if that's the big enough push to get them into the playoffs
for this 17-week 2021 season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you seen that the format yet? The schedule?
No, I did notice. I saw that it would be 17 weeks, but other than that, I didn't look into it too much. I don't know. You said it was in discussions. You said it was usually 16 weeks. I see. I got news that it was 17 weeks for this year.
Well, it was 16 weeks before, and now it's 17 weeks.
I never saw too much else on it, but that just popped up in my feed, and I thought I'd add it in there.
Mm-hmm. So, very interesting.
A glimpse of hope for later seasons.
Yeah, exactly. Move to some NBA.
Yes, so...
Basketball.
Yes, basketball. So they are moving the 2020-2021 season to start in December. So that looks like promising news that they want to finish out the rest of this regular season.
I mean, the Raptors are certainly defying a lot of expectations this year. A lot of people very underrated the Raptors after Kawhi left, and I want to see how far they're going to go in the playoffs this year.
I'd like to see them win back-to-back. I gotta say.
Oh, yes, for sure. And get all these salty American basketball fans out of here, They don't like that the fact that there's an Canadian team winning the
championship
NBA.
Yeah, so
that's very promising news. My Houston Rockets hat just came in for the mail, $5 free shipping from Sport Check, and so
nice.
Got it tonight, and I tried it on, and it's a very nice hat. The Houston Rockets, they got a good team. They're sixth, I'm pretty sure, in the West. So, Raptors are second in the East. Many analysts didn't even have them making the playoffs right now.
I think they'll be playing the Milwaukee Bucks in the playoffs right now, the way it's formatted.
No, Milwaukee Bucks is first.
Oh, okay.
They're first. They've got a very good team with Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's a very, very good player. The Raptors will be playing the seventh place team, which would be the Brooklyn Nets, right? And the thing is with that, the Brooklyn Nets signed Kevin Durant to a 2-year deal. But for the first year, Kevin Durant is hurt this year. But he might be slated to come back, which might prove issues for the Raptors.
Yeah.
So now they're going to have their starting point guard, Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant, which is a very good duo. So we're going to have to see if the Raptors can hold them at bay if Durant is back for the playoffs.
And one last piece of NBA news, Tyler. This is exciting. Training is going to begin starting May 8th. In 2 days, we are going to get some training. So that is a good step in the right direction to get this season back rolling and get that playoff run going for the Raptors. Hopefully.
Oh, yes. I'm very curious to see how far they're going to go in the playoffs this year, if there is playoffs. And now, Simon, you added some MLS news. Individual workouts are beginning today. I did some research. 4 teams are letting their players do workouts here, which would be Kansas City, Atlanta, Orlando, and Miami. And next week, Nashville, Salt Lake, Los Angeles, and Houston. Some interesting news today. The Orlando team, the entire roster showed up to training today, workouts. So, it's a start. It's a good thing, if some big leagues like this can get started again, it provides incentive for others too, They don't want to miss out on this prime television because there's nothing on.
No, there certainly is not. And hopefully leagues can bounce ideas off each other and see how each league is engaging. So we got 2 leagues starting training. So that is some big news there, and a good step in the right direction. So we can move on to some MLB, Tyler.
Okay, hold on. I wanna pick up on a point here that a friend of ours, Matt Beach, just threw out in the general chat that the Raptors might be trying to trade up into the draft here to get LaMelo Ball. And if you didn't know, the Ball family is one of the most, I guess you could say, famous families in basketball. Their dad is a bozo, and their brother Alonzo is a pretty decent player so far here, being how young he is, and he's a very, very, very big prospect. We don't know if it's confirmed yet. It's not. It's a report. But it would be certainly interesting if the Raptors could get their hands on LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
And, these trades, they might incorporate Kyle Lowry, which, I don't know. It's it'd be a big thing if they got their hands on LaMelo, considering how much they'd be giving up for him. So, oh frig, my phone fell.
Yeah, I have some Q news if you're interested before we move on to MLB. So some local hockey news. Our local
All right.
St. John Sea Dogs. We get 3rd pick in the draft this year.
Okay, that's
so
cool.
That's looking good. Hopefully they can get a playoff team going here soon and make another big run to the Memorial Cup. It's been 9 years, so boys, do your work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it was certainly cool when they won the Memorial Cup that year. I remember all the celebrations that happened. I remember being in school and thinking, man, why can't I be there at the Sea Dogs?
Yeah.
At the Sea Dogs celebration.
The seasons surrounding that were so good too. They had a really good team. Jonathan Huberdeau.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Rookie
of the year.
Yeah. I know Simone Dupre. Pittsburgh used to play for the Penguins. I think Thomas Chabot was on that team too.
No, he was not. That was too early for Chabot.
Okay. No.
Yeah, so
Mike Hoffman. Mike Hoffman.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see who they get. They certainly need a lot of help. We're gonna have to see. It's QMJ, all the minor junior hockey. It's teams certainly go on definitely a loop. They're stuck in a loop. They're good for a few years, they're bad for a few years. Hopefully they're going to start to become good again,
Yeah, and we've had some big NHL players come out of the queue, so I'm excited to see some more come through the city and watch them play.
All right, you heard some big NHL news and a lot of big news for other sports. Let's head to the MLB, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the Players League, I mentioned it last week. I'm just going to do a brief overview of it. One of the favorites, Blake Snell, he did end up winning the whole thing. Tampa Bay Rays starting pitcher. He beat the Chicago Cubs representative Ian Happ in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
So, or no, not Ian Happ. I'm sorry, Lucas Giolito. Ian Happ, Giolito, and Jeff McNeil lost to Snell in the semis. And Blue Jays representative Bo Bichette ended up losing to Lucas Giolito in the quarter. This was all televised on ESPN, really? But I'm wondering how many people tuned in to watch it.
Really?
Yeah. All the finals and all the playoffs were. So
that's
gonna have to see what comes of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got some very important MLB news. Okay, now a former
Yeah, so that's pretty interesting that they streamed that, Tyler.
I wonder how many people tuned in. I just want to know that, if you could figure that out,
Yeah, and I'm sure they made a little bit of money off that, which during these times I'm sure isn't that bad.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so you have a couple of tweets here.
Okay, this is some big news. This could affect all the sports here.
All sports?
MLB.
MLB
Oh
related?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, it's MLB related, but it could affect a lot of sports. Just all right. So Trevor Plouffe, former MLB player, he is currently a free agent, only 33 years of age. He spent a long time with the Minnesota Twins, and he's bounced around a few teams in the minor leagues and everything. Anyways, he tweets out, "Want some good baseball news? I've just heard from multiple sources that on June 10th, Spring Training 2 will start. July 1st will be opening day, and all teams will be playing at their home ballparks." Then he goes on to reference how he will be talking about it in his podcast that he's a part of, called Talkin' Baseball. So that is very big news. That could be July 1st could be baseball. And, as soon as that, and June 10th, we could see baseball again, Earlier than that, we could see spring training, which was interrupted by the shutdown.
And I think I saw a thing where they're doing a 100-game or 120-game season or something like that, rather than their 180 something.
Yeah. there's currently 162 games in a Major League Baseball season.
Okay.
So, I mean, I wonder if all those are really necessary to play that many games. They could certainly cut out a few games to make sure the season fits in here, but we don't know if these are true because an ESPN analyst, Keith Law, tweets out, "There's no proposed date for the MLB season to start. That rumor running around today is false. Sorry." So, who knows? Is Trevor Plouffe right? Is Keith Law right? I've heard another, Phil Hughes, I'm pretty sure, is another pitcher. I'm not sure if he still plays or not. He's old, I know that. But anyways, he also tweets out that he heard, he's 33 years old. Okay, he also tweets out that he heard it from the same source that Trevor Plouffe heard it. He heard it as well, that Spring Training 2 would start and July 1st would be opening day. So, I mean, that's pretty big news. We could see baseball, July 1st, June 10th.
They definitely could cut it down to a 120-game season and fit it all in.
Easily.
I mean, 2 months delayed.
160 games is a lot.
Yeah, so we're 2 months delayed, so, say if it's 20 games a month per team, there's 40 games, so there's your 120, right? So right now they could fit in a 100 to 120 game season, obviously. Cut the games down evenly between the teams so they all have a fair chance. And away you go, you're off to the races. One more sports thing. Joe Thornton's beard, it's gone.
What?
Yes, he shaved it. His daughter released a TikTok.
I shaved my beard.
Joe Thornton's
What's so funny about that,
gone.
man? I did.
I know you did. You still haven't showed me yet, but...
I know. I'll have to send you a picture.
Yes, but Joe Thornton...
Oh my god, he looks so different.
His beard is gone.
With help from daughter. Oh my god. Outfits.
It's gone.
That's
The playoff beard's gone. He looks a lot younger than he is now.
Man, I look a lot younger than I did just a few days ago before I shaved.
Yeah.
All right.
What's next? Brett Burns gets rid of his? Who knows?
No, that's impossible. If it does, pigs will fly before that happens.
You know how San Jose loves their beards. Anyways, we better move on to the memes.
Meme segment, yeah.
Let's get right into the memes.
All
okay,
right.
You're going to have to take control of this first one because I am out of the loop on this one.
It is green versus purple. All right? I think it's being overused currently, but...
It's like
It's
GTA gang rivalry or something?
Yeah, GTA 5. People are buying either green or purple alien bodysuits from the clothes stores, and they're just going around with those and basically having a giant melee fight with each other. The opposite colors, right? They're teaming up. I am currently purple gang, Simon. I just wanted to let you know. I'm purple gang, right? And it's certainly a interesting take. I'm pretty sure it first appeared on TikTok. It was the first one, which was a bunch of green aliens jumped out of a van and attacked somebody in a clothing store. I'm pretty sure it was the first thing, and people caught onto the bandwagon. They made the purple gang of it, and it's a big thing right now. A lot of meme pages are posting about it.
Interesting.
It's pretty cool, and the thing is, it's a melee thing, too. People aren't using overpowered guns, assault rifles and shotguns.
Military-grade weapons,
SMGs
according to the Canadian government.
Well, exactly, and they're using hatchets and, melee weapons they get in baseball bats.
Medieval.
And they get in close quarters, and it's fun. I was in a massive battle with a few buddies, and it's fun. It's fun to play, and there's a code that people know. They don't use the guns, and the guns they use, they have an alien ray gun that will shoot people up in the air. People use that one for fun, right? And it's pretty cool. I like it.
That's cool. So this one I found this morning. These types of memes pop up. They're just one day sort of thing. they're a one-day sort of thing. So this is Meet Matt the Crab. So basically how this meme goes is it's a picture of a crab wearing a hat. Very funny. Those pictures always, put a smile on my face. I know, Facebook mom, right? But, it's like, this is Matt, and Matt will be going away. Say goodbye to Matt. And, yeah, so, I don't know. It just put a
Yeah, I
smile on
mean,
my face, and I think I just should have
I've
added
seen
it
many
in.
variants of the "this is blank"
Mhm.
type of thing, and they're usually funny pictures with animals, and they're very wholesome.
They put a smile on my face despite it being, yes, animals with hats, okay, Facebook mom kind of thing, but still, it puts a smile on my face, and, at the end of the day, that's what matters, right?
That's all that matters. Exactly.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if you're not smiling, there's something wrong. So yeah, I don't know. I liked it. Tyler, the next meme.
Yeah.
How do you feel? How does
The
this
next
meme
meme we have there.
What's the power of this meme here?
Wait, what? Sorry.
What feeling of power does this meme give you?
A lot of money power.
That was a bad
this
transition
is
on
one.
my part, but
I know. I'm sorry. You were cutting out for me. My connection has been very off tonight, so I'm sorry. I couldn't really hear what you were saying there.
anyways, continue.
All right. So yeah, this one's the "what gives people feelings of power" meme. I think it's all right. I wouldn't. I suppose. Hey, we forgot to rate the other memes. Simon, what do you give the green versus purple meme? Have you seen it, and what do you give it?
I've seen it. No comment on a rating because I'm a bit out of the loop on that one, so I don't feel like it's fair. And
All right, I'll give it.
Although this
I think,
Doge bonk one, I don't know. The bonk is kind of funny. That's funny.
I give it an 8 out of 10 because it reignited the GTA community. A lot of people went back on, and it's very wholesome because GTA nowadays just got people blowing people up and flying bikes. That is literally most of the GTA Online things, especially on PC. You'll have a lot of hackers, and that's not fun. So yeah, I'll give it an 8. What do you think about the "this is blank" meme or "this is bad" or whatever? What do you think about those ones?
I saw it this morning and I smiled. It's gonna be a 1-day, 2-day meme. Next week I'll forget about it, but solid 7.5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6 because I always see these. It's not just the Nat one; it's several animals with wearing clothes or doing funny things, and I like seeing them every time they pop up. Every now and then, every now and again.
Yep, certainly. So what gives people feelings of power meme? Tyler, take it away.
I'll give it a 4 out of 10 for me. I don't really like it. I don't think it's that original. It's just literally like a scale. It's not much. There's not much going on in it, and I don't really like it. I don't know. What do you think, Simon Osmond?
Again, a more relatable meme in some aspects. Definitely maybe a 5 at most. Some of them are pretty funny, I will say, reaching up to an 8. Controversial, but on average, yeah, probably a 5.
Okay.
So, this next one I personally take a lot of interest into. It is what did I call it here? Distracted boyfriend. So, basically it's a guy, with his girlfriend looking back.
Okay,
And,
Simon?
Yeah?
Hold on.
Yeah, so this is more, relatable in a sense because getting distracted, I guess. So for certain aspects. So the one that we get pictured here is me versus sleep, and then my phone. So obviously being more attracted to my phone versus sleeping. The template's been used a
Yeah.
lot. Maybe a
Yeah, it's
6
old
or
for me.
7.
It's not the best. I give it a 5.
Yeah,
You know,
6.
it was okay. It was all right when first saw it, but it's been used and used and used, and it's old. It's old now.
Yeah, some of them still put a smile on my face, more the extremely relatable ones. But, it is
Yeah.
what it is. Memes have their cycles, so.
Mhm.
Related back to our news, world news, Kim Jong-un memes, Tyler?
Oh yeah, they are. I love these ones. I give this an easy 8 or 9 out of 10. Really, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
say 8.5. I like these more than the green versus purple. They're
I,
funny.
yeah,
Siding with the coffin dance meme from last week, right?
yes, exactly.
Like this picture that Simon will be showing on screen right now. It's Kim Jong Un. He's looking out the window, and you can see the 4 men outside the window from the coffin, and they're just looking at him. And I think that one's very funny. I love the Kim Jong Un, like Kim Jong Un surgeon escaping North Korea, or Kim Jong Un surgeon in South Korea right now. It's like, and he's being like, he's dancing, and everybody's celebrating and everything. They're very funny. I enjoy them a lot.
The Kim Jong-un surgeon meme I will put up on the screen right now. But Tyler, there's an Office reference in here. Michael Scott obviously running, what is it, the Fun
Mm-hmm.
Run or something like that?
Yeah, yeah. For like Meredith's rabies or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
where he
that's a
eats all that
classic episode.
fettuccine and whatever, fettuccine Alfredo, carbon out for like what is it, like a 2 mile run or something. Anyways, remember in the episode where, I forget his name, but he works in the warehouse? And he left Japan. He
Yeah,
was
I've
hired
seen I've
surgeon.
seen that one. Yes, I've seen
Yeah,
that one
yeah,
with
that's what
the
that
Kim
reminds me
Jong
of.
Un meme coinciding as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
I've
that's what it
seen those.
reminds me
I
of.
have seen those ones. Yeah. So that's our meme segment for the week, really.
Yeah,
All right,
so
Simon. Here's your songs of the week, huh?
we're gonna fly quickly through these like 2018
Mm-hmm.
flew for me. So these are my top songs from my. So Spotify puts out a top 100 songs, basically your most listened to songs at the end of each year. I find it very cool because they also release a lot of stats about what you listen to. So these are
Mm-hmm.
some of the top songs that I enjoyed from that list. Um, and basically, no particular order, some songs that stood out to me that I really liked, although all of these songs were great. So first off, Alice in Chains, The One You Know. Great sound to it. Very, like, it's a heavy, kind of dark sound to it. It's aggressive, but it just, I don't know, if it's one of the perfect sounding songs to me that's like exactly what I want, right? And it just fits a niche in my mind that I feel works very well for me. Like, not works very well, but it fits my taste very well for, yeah. Like a lot of these songs that you will be hearing in the coming episodes.
Yeah.
And feel free, Tyler, at any time. I know some of these songs are a little bit, not very many
Obscure.
people listen to it. Not really obscure, but like, you gotta dig deeper for these songs. So,
Yeah,
Hardwired,
I can't say I'm a
yeah.
fan of some of the hard death metal songs that
It's
you're putting in here. I can't say I'm a
death
fan of
metal.
them.
Death metal.
That genre of music.
This isn't death metal, Tyler. This is like getting
Well,
into
the one
maybe
kind of
metal.
is.
Huh?
Well, the one those are pretty metal songs.
Uh, yeah, they're metal. Maybe I forget the exact genre is, but
Yeah.
it's
I can't say I
more on
like
the,
that type of music.
yeah, it's definitely the heavier end of rock,
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
into
it's
metal, but nowhere
like hard
close to
rock and all that stuff.
death or industrial. But
Yeah.
Hardwired by Metallica, personally, I love Metallica. I know everybody loves Metallica, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I know. I'm basic. Whatever. I don't care. You can call me basic. Don't care. Metallica really just I don't know, 80s metal sound. 80s metal stood out from, the likes of Motley Crue and stuff. And this
Yeah.
song is just like, it's just I don't know, it's 5 minutes or 6 minutes or however long it is of just glory. And I just love it. It's a get in the zone sort of song. Go out and kill it, whatever task you got in front of you. Just
Yeah, I
like,
can't say I know these two songs that you pointed out here.
yeah,
It's
I
these
mean,
first two.
there's definitely more popular, songs by those bands, but these two are just like, they're just killer songs, man, and you should go take a listen to them. But this next one takes a little bit of a left turn, you know, from the first two genres.
Oh, for sure. For
So,
sure.
2018, Scorpion by Drake comes out. This album, big album. So, of
Mm-hmm.
course, you're either thinking one of two things right now. Oh no, he's gonna mention In My Feelings, or oh no, he's gonna mention God's Plan. And I was
If you
very
said the
tempted.
latter, you'd be right.
Yeah, I was very tempted to put both of them on here because they're just a bop, and I feel like they're more guilty pleasure you don't tell everybody songs because everybody was like obsessed with them 2 years ago. But these two songs are just great, and if you really listen to God's Plan, I'm just like, you know what, that guy had goals, he met his goals, and look what he's doing now, right? Very wholesome music video, and it blew the charts away.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a good sound, got a good, story behind it if you want to think about it more, and yeah. So I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you have any comments on it. It's kind of an overplayed song for most people, but
I enjoy the song. I'll listen to it once in a while. It's not in any playlist I have. I don't really have any playlists to begin with, but
yeah.
I mean, I enjoy it. I'll listen to it. I like Drake. I like his music.
Yeah, he
Um,
not
Canadian guy. You
hmm
got to respect that.
I support Canadian artists, I support niche artists, and I support local artists. Drake, Canadian,
And
Toronto
getting more into
boy.
local artists. Your next song.
Yes, I just want to finish up on Drake here. Don't want to be a bandwagon kind of listener, but he does really have some good songs and just, yeah, especially his most recent, some more recent stuff. But getting into local artists, Tyler, we have Mike Bigger, and this song is Blood from a Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if you know Mike Bigger from our area,
I do
ND
know. I
boy.
do know. I'm pretty sure he did come to my middle school.
He came to mind too. That's when I first heard him 2 years ago when this 2018 I saw him play. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, locally at some of the summertime events that our local municipality hosts. This song, it's his voice, it's raspy, and it's a storytelling voice, and it's just you you have to listen to it to understand.
Yeah.
It's a very niche genre nowadays, but it's just a good sound to it, and it
I
just
can't say I've heard it
um
before.
you should go give it a listen. You're missing out, I think.
I did try to search it up here before, but I couldn't find it.
I'll send
I
you the
couldn't
link
find it.
afterwards, but Blood from a
All right, no,
Stone,
that'd be great.
Mike Bigger, just big, big, good sound. Big fan. I
All
don't know
right.
what to say. It's just got a good sound to it.
Yeah.
Um, so the last one, we're getting into this hard rock thing again. Shadow of Your Love
Mm-hmm.
by Guns N' Roses. You know, Slash, great guitarist. Axl Rose, he can sing. Their
You can do it
song,
all.
they just blow my mind. You know,
Very
Slash,
talented band.
yes, and Slash is getting into some his own recordings nowadays. But Shadow of Your Love is, it's a fast paced song, kind of like Hardwired, but I just love it, man. I don't know what to tell you. You gotta go listen to it. It's just it's a musical masterpiece. So yeah, that's this week wrapped up. Not really anything too particular or any ratings. in any particular order, but man, I just love these songs, and they
Mm-hmm.
really bring back some memories for me of
All
just,
right.
the summer
I'm gonna
and
head into
getting it done.
I'm
So
gonna head into
yeah.
my segment for this week, my shows of the week. All
Mm-hmm.
right, I got first of all, got the highly, highly rated. Everybody loves this series here, Tiger King. Great series. Simon, I know you love the series. I know a lot of people love the series. I love the series, It's a great, great show. I love it.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I don't want to go into too much depth here. There's been some great meme formats that have come out of it, and I'm never gonna financially recover from this and all that. Hilarious.
mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
I guess
it's
now
an
we'll move on.
interesting thing and sparks a lot of controversy. But you got to move on to your. This is probably one that you bring up a lot, Tyler, in conversation.
Yeah, I bring it up all the time. It's Family Guy. And Family Guy, it's a great show. Very funny. It's certainly dropped off in the past few seasons, but there are a good few episodes on Netflix. You'll find a good episode once every few. There's always some good few jokes that crack me up in every episode, Despite maybe the story or the episode itself not being the greatest, it's still very funny. And, they got a ton of episodes on Netflix right now. It's a perfect show to binge. Really. I think it starts from they got 6 or 7 seasons on Netflix right now. So I'm pretty sure most people have watched a lot of them on there. So if you haven't, the Family Guy train, am I right?
Yeah.
Have you watched all of them on Netflix? Have you watched Family Guy on Netflix before?
I've watched a couple episodes, but right now I'm watching How I Met Your Mother, so
Yeah.
Family Guy is on the list if I want a good binge. Thank you, Tyler,
All right.
for the recommendation. I see a good movie coming up with a bunch of actors I like.
Oh yeah. So next one is Anchorman. Here, it's a classic film. Ron Burgundy played.
Yeah.
And they got Steve Carell in it. Okay, and they got a ton of actors.
Whoever plays Todd Packer.
Todd Packer, yeah. Then they got Paul Rudd as well. I know a lot of the actors think very fondly of the film in their memories, especially Steve Carell, I've heard. And I'm a big Will Ferrell fan. You see Step Brothers last week, Anchorman this week.
I gotta watch that movie.
You're gonna see
again.
definitely more Will Ferrell on this list to come each week. It's a hilarious movie,
Yeah, I definitely gotta watch Step Brothers again. That was a funny movie, and I've seen a couple memes since, and I gotta watch it again. Good movie. Anyways, I digress.
Yes. All right. And next up on the list, I got The Hangover. Both parts here. Both parts on Netflix, I should say. There is a third one. It's not as well rated as the first two. It's not. Most of these shows I have aren't PG shows. They're not family shows. Even though it's called Family Guy, it's not a family show. There's cursing and all this stuff. The Hangover, it has some nudity in it. Both of the parts. If you can handle seeing a penis, then you're fine. But
okay.
Come on though. I'm sorry, but I digress. Anyways, I know you like using that word, that saying.
Yeah, it comes from one of my teachers. It's kind of got a running joke behind it.
Gerthus.
Yeah, so The Last Dance. Tell me about it. I haven't watched it, Tyler.
Well, hold on. I'm not done with Hangover yet. Okay. Don't get too hasty here.
Getting hungover, Hangover. Okay, whatever.
Hangover. It's great. I'm into the comedy films. As you'll see here, a lot of comedical things on this list each week. Yeah. So it really keeps you engaged with what's going on in the film right now. You're rooting for them to succeed, even though their choices are not the best, you know. So it's about the 1998 Chicago Bulls. It's their sort of last push for another championship. It follows Michael Jordan and Coach Phil Jackson, among others. Coach Phil Jackson said he was going to leave, and they were going to disband the team after. That's why it's called that, and it's exactly what happened. You know, they won the championship that year. Not to spoil anything, I'm pretty sure actually. Hold on, I really should do some research before I just. Yeah, okay, it was the Chicago Bulls. They did win it that year. But yeah, it's great because the new parts are coming out every Monday. So be sure to keep it tuned there. The full series is not released yet, so it's going to be another few weeks before you can watch all of them.
It's on my list to watch, Tyler. Yeah.
Throughout this, the last push for a championship, Michael Jordan, key part of the team. Yeah. And I think it's really cool how, this footage is never before seen. And now they waited this long, and now it's, finally a thing,
Yeah, so you want to touch on your last show this week, Tyler? And yeah.
Well, that was my last show.
Oh, The Last Dance?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's all the stuff I got to talk about, Simon.
All right, Tyler. Yeah, so that was a good...
I'm going to thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the new Buzzwick Podcast. Socials will be in the description. Our Discord. Make sure to join us so you can listen in each week that we record this, each Thursday. Or Wednesday, I should say. Scheduled for release on Thursday. I get confused. And our Instagram, yes.
Be sure to follow us there for updates podcast.
And behind the scenes coverage.
I just posted on the story, guys. So go check it out.
We got it all set up so far. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you for your time listening to this. Yeah, it's greatly appreciated. I know I appreciate it. I'm sure Tyler does. Yeah. It's a lot of fun making these.
Into the comments. Yeah. What could we do better, Are we rambling too much? Do you want more rambling? Like, what do you think?
I don't know,
Leave
Tyler,
your suggestions in the comments. You can leave them. You can certainly leave them in the Discord here. We got a fan ideas chat. I'm not sure. Did you show that at the end of last episode?
I haven't put a picture of the Discord in yet, but links are in the description.
And you can post your very own fan ideas into the Discord, or suggestions for what you want us to do. Yeah. Very interactive with our fans.
Let us know.
We have 5 others in the Discord right now with us.
Yeah, and a couple of people on Instagram and a couple of people subscribe. So, we're getting rolling here. Your support is very much appreciated. Let us know if we're rambling too much, and we got to do a Don Cherry, Ron McLean, thing where one of us keeps the other from rambling or whatever. But yeah. Hockey Night in Canada before stuff went down, referenced right there. But yeah, thank you very much, guys. Follow.